Yo, I'm Elmiene, and I'm here with YAMS Magazine. The origin of my music was my older cousin's old database. They had like an old, for some reason my head wanted to say floppy disk, but it was not a floppy disk. It was more than a floppy disk. But they had all the tunes they like took from like LimeWire or whatever, Napster, and they had it in this file, and it was like mad. It had, because them files sometimes are weird, so you get the start of another song at the end of the song you're listening to. So it was like a treasure hunt, because at the end, I remember at the end of, I think it was You Remind Me, the end of You Remind Me, the start of Love in This Club Part 2 would start. But it wouldn't tell me what the song was. I'd hear that and I'd be like, oh, what's that? But then they didn't have that song in the thing. Then I'd be like, I remember that started like a 2-year chase of finding that song. Then I found that. And there was another one where the Love in This Club, when I found that one, the ending of that had the start of Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Crossroads. I'm like, whoa, and it was just like, that's the start of my nerdism with music, because it was always just like, it was like a donkey and carrot, constantly chasing the next thing. How I got into singing was, well, I always just like, since I was a really creepy kid, I used to just sit and like watch people. I was very quiet. I never cried, according to my mum. I used to always really analyze people, and I used to really enjoy doing impersonations of whatever. So when I got into music, I was like, well, let me just think, well, this is right here. When I sing the song, I'm gonna sing it exactly like he sang it. What I didn't know was I was building the groundwork for my voice, because I was copying Stevie. And until I got it right, it wasn't done. Then I'd copy Michael, and if I didn't get it right, I wouldn't. And slowly I realized I was building, practicing, and a skill. My biggest inspirations, I'm gonna just say the top 3, the big ones: Stevie, Donny Hathaway, and D'Angelo. That's the lineage of all of it. They're the big ones. Of course, if I'm talking about influential and stuff, I mean, you've got to put Sly has to come in there. Then, Marvin has to come in there. All the other interims, there's so many to talk about. And if it's the modern era, I've got to talk about Joe. I've got to talk about Casey and JoJo, Devante and Jodeci. I've got to talk about Stokely, Mint Condition. Then I've got to talk about my hero Raphael Sadiq. There's so many. I can't even stop. The whole of music R&B as a historical thing is my inspiration. My aha moment was being in the studio with Raphael Sadiq and him telling me, you're one of the ones. That's it. I don't know what I ain't got to say much else really. He wrote a song and he liked it enough. It was like, you're sick. This mixtape Heat the Streets is a exercise for me. I'm seeing it as an exercise or a practice of how I want to hold myself to a standard moving forward. Because this mixtape came from me writing my debut album, realizing I had a lot of songs that existed on the side that bundled up as a nice little package together. And we were like, well, if we want the album to hit how we want it to hit, we should drop something to heat the streets first before the big one comes. That's what this was. But then also doing it, I then realized, man, this is fun, because like from the Prince school of releasing music, I nigga release music every other, it was going. One of my favorite things about Prince is every Prince fan, you could be a fan of 4 of Prince's albums and talk to someone else who's also a fan of 4 Prince albums, and you could be into 4 different albums. You could be into a whole different side of Prince than the other person. I love Prince. Do you like this song? No, I like this song. And it's he's like 7 artists in one. That's what I want. The mixtape for me is like, if I keep going like this, I could explore so many avenues of my music and the many faces of me. I want to just keep it. Now that I've done it once, I want to keep, after every album, bang, mixtape, bang, 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 carry on. My favorite song is Absolutely Capable. That's my tune, man. That's the most honest song. One of the most honest songs I've ever written. Like, fresh off there's some songs that the inspiration came an hour before you even started writing the song. Hot. Just right out the thing. That was one of them ones. What makes UK R&B special is the fact that we're so far away from where R&B started. physically and culturally in a way. I think our secret sauce that everyone here is like, man, why do the UK have it right now, whatever, is appreciation. We appreciate the art because it's far away from us. And almost like, I don't like the word, but exotic almost, where it's like, you look at it and you're like, man, New York is crazy. That's why Mary did the da-da-da-da-da. And then you go to New York and you're like, whoa, it's real. It's like being in, I remember we went to New York, I was like, this is GTA 4. Went to LA, I was like, GTA 5, this is crazy. Like, this is real. This is what it is. And then the inspiration is just like, because I don't see this every day. The fact that I'm here is amazing. The fact that I'm talking to these people. The fact that you guys have this accent, really have this accent. Every day you wake up and you talk like this. Same way you look at us. It's just like, woof, this is special. And that's our thing. That's our secret power. Yeah. Appreciation. I think my first thing I want to say is I do definitely have the idea of timeless is something I'm always keeping in my mind. I went to watch Stevie Wonder for the first time at BST in London, Hyde Park. And the audience was from 4 years old to 80 years old. From white to black to brown to everything in between. And he started singing Happy Birthday. I was like, this song, doesn't matter who you are, you get it, you love it. And I was looking around with the Happy Birthday to you. I was like, yes, Isn't She Lovely comes on, everyone's on it. Whatever, for once in my life, all I do, like every single song that came on, everyone feels it. And it's that, I think someone said before the phrase 8 to 80. Like, always keep that in mind. No matter how old I am, I want to make music that the kid can sing, I can sing, my parents can sing, and their parents can sing. Like, you're never going to see a swear word in any of my songs. I'm not cussing ever, for that reason. And also, even with Useless, the reason Useless, I even finally got around to really loving Useless is because my manager's kid, who's like 3, really loved it. And she was just really amused by the fact that I was saying the word stupid. She was like, you can't say stupid. I was like, you can't say stupid. But if you're singing the song, you can say stupid. And she like starts going around, she's like singing the song, and her dad's like, stop saying stupid. And she's like, Uncle Abdallah sang it, so what am I gonna... But that little, the playfulness of all of it, it's just like, that's what Stevie brought to me. The fact that I can love him as much as when I was 5 and now. It's big. Bigger than, that's the most powerful form of music, bigger than anything else. The feeling I want people to leave with is the feeling that they just listen to something human. I think that's the most important part. Like, you listen to Stevie's records, or really, like, I mean, Donny Hathaway, I think, is the king of this. You listen to him and you know his pain is real. And the way he's singing things, the reason he chose that melody, or he sang it in that tone, is because he was telling a story from somewhere. In a real heart that beats with an aorta, or whatever you want to call it, like with cartilage and bone and muscle. Like, I think that's what I want people to take. Like, I don't want people to listen to be like, man, this is some good, just be like, oh, this is some good R&B or good music, whatever. It's like, no, I want people to be like, man, I'm listening to a man who lives and breathes and is telling me a story as if I was sat right next to him. Like, that's the ultimate expression of it, I think.